Welcome to Studying with KJ. Today, we'll be going over changing mixed numbers to improper fractions. Now, before we get into solving some example problems, we must first understand what a mixed number is, and second, understand what an improper fraction is. So first, a mixed number is a number that includes both a whole number and a proper fraction. Now, I have an example of what a mixed number looks like below. This example reads 1 and 1/2. Now, this 1 is considered the whole number of our entire mixed number. This 1/2 is considered the proper fraction of our entire mixed number. Got it? So now let's get into what an improper fraction is. An improper fraction is a fraction in which the numerator is greater than the denominator. And I have an example of what an improper fraction looks like below this definition. This example reads 4/3. So 4 is considered our numerator, and 3 is considered our denominator. So 4, which is our numerator, is bigger than 3, which is our denominator. So this will make this fraction an improper fraction. Anytime your numerator is bigger than your denominator, that fraction is considered an improper fraction. So now that we have that out the way, we can get into the steps needed to change a mixed number to an improper fraction. And I have those steps written to the right here. So our first step is to multiply the denominator of our mixed number to the whole number of our mixed number. Our second step is to add the number we get from multiplying the denominator of our mixed number to the whole number of our mixed number. We add what we get from that to the numerator of our mixed number. So that's step 2. Step 3 is to keep the denominator of our improper fraction the same as our denominator from our mixed number. So that's step 3. And then step 4 is to check what we get as far as our improper fraction by converting that improper fraction back into a mixed number. And I'll show you guys how to do that once we finally get into solving some problems. So now let's get into solving some problems. So step 1, or example 1, reads 2 2/4. So our first step is to multiply our denominator by our numerator, which is 8. 4 times 2 is 8. Our second step is to add what we get from that to our numerator, which is 2. So 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. Our third step says to keep our denominator the same as our mixed number. So write 4 right here. Now, 10/4 is the answer we got for our improper fraction, but we want to check if that is correct. And we do that by dividing 10 by 4. So we do that by seeing how many groups of 4 can go into 10. 2 groups of 4 can go into 10, right? Because 2 times 4, or 4 times 2, same thing, is 8. Now that leaves us with a remainder of 2, because you need 2 more to make 10. And then we leave our denominator the same. So if you look, we have a mixed number of 2 2/4, which is the same as our mixed number that we had in the beginning, which is 2 2/4. And that makes our improper fraction of 10/4 correct, right? All right. So now let's go into example problem 2. Let's go over our first step. Our first step is to multiply our denominator by our whole number. So 5 times 4 is 20, plus 4 is 24, right? So that would be our numerator for our improper fraction, 24. And then our third step, so 24 covers our step 1 and 2. So now our step 3 tells us to what? Keep the denominator the same as we had in our mixed number. So our denominator for our improper fraction is 5. Now step 4 is to check to see if that improper fraction is correct. So we do that by doing 24 divided by 5. So 5, how many groups of 5 can go into 24? 4, right? 5 times 4 is 20. So that leaves us with a remainder of 4. So that will be our numerator of our mixed number. And then our denominator is 5. Keep that the same. So we have a mixed number of 4 and 4/5, which is the same as our mixed number that we had in the beginning. So now on to our last example problem. Our last example problem reads 3 and 4/10. So our first step is to multiply our denominator by our whole number. So 10, put that in red, 10 times 3. And then we have to add that to our numerator. So 10 times 3 is 30, plus 4 is 34. And then our denominator of our mixed or improper fraction will be 10. So our improper fraction is 34 over 10. So now, step 4, our last step, is to check if 34 over 10 is the right improper fraction. And we do that by changing that back into a mixed number. So we do that by dividing 34 by 10. So 10, how many groups of 10 can go into 34? 3, right? That leaves us with a remainder of 4, which will be our numerator of our mixed number. And then our denominator will be 10. So that leaves us with a mixed number of 3 and 4 over 10, which is the same as what we had in the beginning, which means that this 34 over 10 is our correct answer, and 24 over 5 is our correct answer for 2. So that concludes today's lesson. Remember, the more you go over problems like these, the more you work through these problems, the better you get at this type of stuff. Thanks for studying with KJ.